Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with disturbing stories regarding banditry ravaging Nigeria. Rather than sticking to the collection of ransom, bandits now rob their female victims of their future. Reports indicate that about 13 girls of the abducted students of Federal Government College, Birnin Yauri, Kebbi State, have been married off by some of them already pregnant. Some of the parents said the kidnappers sent them footages showing that their daughters are already married. This is very sad to hear, Jude. This is very sad.
Yeah, but this is what usually happens when they kidnap young women.
These are girls.
Yes. When they kidnap young women, this is what they do. This same thing happened with the Chibok girls, and of course the Dabchi girls. Leah Sharibu, I was told by a very reliable source that she was married to Abu Musab al-Banawi. So this is what they do, and that's to tell you that there's really no difference between Boko Haram terrorists and these bandits, because they are behaving the same way. They see women as part of the spoils of war. And when negotiations drag on and on and on, then this sort of thing will happen. Because those children were kidnapped June 17, 2021. And as we speak, there are still about 14 of them left with the bandits, including a boy. So they targeted the girls, got them pregnant, and in fact, so wicked were these guys that they sent 3 girls back to their parents already pregnant. It's difficult to take this kind of nonsense going on in our country. It's extremely difficult, because I ask myself as a parent, how will I feel?
Father
if this sort of thing happened to me, how will I feel?
The country has, you know, that everything, that the environment, the people that you are relying on to protect you, they failed you.
Yes, and that school shouldn't have been on at that time. That school shouldn't have been on. I understand that the state government spoke with the federal authorities that they should shut the school. But they kept saying, look, the exams were here, let them finish the exams. It was the same mistake that we made with Chibok. We never learn. We never learn. The exams that they sat for in Chibok should have been done in the state capital. But sometimes we deceive ourselves that if we have like 10 soldiers guarding a place, that is security. Do you know how many fighters they are bringing? Because that was a mistake made at Chibok. The school was protected. But by how many soldiers? Soldiers who were simply overrun by Boko Haram fighters carrying the same weapons that they were carrying. But in terms of number, there were dozens more than the soldiers that we put there. So since you don't know how many of those fighters are coming, how many bandits are coming, there's no need to take that risk. Shut the school, let the exam take place, let the student go and sit for the exam somewhere else. Look at the lives of those children now in ruins. In ruins. Is it a crime to go to school?
Sam, 13 of these girls, as a father, will be pained, and it shows the kind of premium we give, you know.
It's a very sad development. Very sad, but not a totally strange phenomenon. Just as Jide had said, these young girls, you know, have often been considered as spoils of war. It dates far back, you know. An unconfirmed report sometime in 2015, you know, had said that out of 234 female captives rescued by the Nigerian Army, 234. 214 were said to be pregnant as far back as 2015. It just tells you, the monster, that has confronted us as a nation. One can only imagine the trauma of parents. I mean, I have a female child. In fact, 2. I don't want to imagine that I would lose them to some idiots somewhere. You understand? These girls are being raped.
Yes.
All right? And turned to sexual slaves. You need to imagine the scenario. One can only imagine what's gone wrong with our society.
Psychological effects.
It's terrible.
Nobody ever recovers from this.
So,
that kind of
if as back as 2015 we had such figures being bandied around as number of female captives released, but confirmed to said to be pregnant, it just tells you how bad it is. They pick them up, make them slaves. In fact, at some point, remember, Shekau himself had boasted. Yes. When talking about the Chibok girls, that most of them had been married.
He said married.
Yeah, that's and there was nothing anybody could do about it.
They said it was a lie.
So,
but are they not coming back pregnant now? Are we not seeing them?
But how long will this nonsense last? We can't continue to live this way in the 21st century. Girls being picked up and turned to slaves.
This thing is getting worse.
It is
now. In Kebbi South last weekend, in the same local government where they killed people the other day and we reported it here, a wedding was taking place. The bandits had drumming and maybe some frenzied drumming, associated with happiness at a wedding venue. Then they moved to the venue and took away the bridegroom and the wedding guests. As we speak, they are yet to contact the families of the victims, as we speak. And this is their style. They will not contact anybody for some time, so that you are already worked up, you are very apprehensive, your dam of emotions about to break. That is when they will
when they ask for a certain amount of
ransom, bring 100 million. This is what we are saying. People can't do wedding in Kebbi South. I'll mention the name of the town in the course of the program.